everyone, I'm Michelle Taylor from Statistics Class A. In this video, I'll be explaining how to perform a statistical analysis using Smart PLS3, including interpreting both the outer and inner models. The structure of this video is as follows. First, importing data from Excel. Second, research and building the model in drawing pad. Third, interpreting outer model test, which is consisting of 1. Factor loading, 2. 3. Reliability analysis, 3. Convergent validity, 4. Discriminant validity. 4. Interpreting inner model test, which is consisting of 1. Collinearity, 2. Direct and indirect effect, 3. Type of mediation, 4. R squared, 5. F squared, and 6. Q squared. And lastly, conclusion. First, we need to import the data from Excel to Smart PLS. Click New Project and name the project ALP Statistic. Next, click on double-click to import data and select the saved.csv file. Click Import Data File, then ALP, and finally OK. This will import all the data into Smart PLS. Here is the research model that I want to analyze. I'll use 4 variables such as neuroticism or N or X1 and conscientiousness or X2 as independent variables, financial risk tolerance or FRT or M as a mediation variable, and financial management or FM or Y as the dependent variable. Next, I'll draw in the drawing pad. Click ALP Statistics. This is the drawing pad, so N is neuroticism. It consists of 5 indicators such as N1 up to N5. So just click N1 and blow up to N5, then drag it directly into the drawing pad. I'll rename it by right-click neuroticism. I'll apply the same method to the other variable. Now click Connect, then connect the variable. First is N to FRT. Second is C to FRT, then FRT to FM. Now for direct effect, I'll connect N to FM and C to FM. So this is my research model. After the model is drawn, to analyze the result, click Calculate. First, PLS algorithm, choose path in weighting scheme because it's generally applicable for all kinds of PLS path model. While for maximum iterations, I use 300. If we want to use more than 300, it's very okay. Last, for stop criterion, it's 10 to the power of minus x. We can fill it with 5 or 7. I use 7 here. Then click Start Calculation. Here's all the results. So initially, I'll find factor loading. Choose outer loading. We can see most of the variables have been green, which means it has fulfilled the benchmark, such as higher than 0.7 and significant. However, FM1, FM10, FM2, FM5, FM6, and FM9 are still red because it's less than 0.7. So we go back to the model and delete all the red indicators. Then I conduct the PLS algorithm again, start calculations, and check again the outer loading to make sure everything has been green. Now I want to check the significance. So go back to the drawing pad and choose bootstrapping. So the number of subsamples should be large to make the result more consistent. Here I use 500, then tick to parallel processing. For amount of result, choose basic bootstrapping. For confidence interval method, choose PCA's bootstrap. For test type, choose two-tailed, and significance level is 0.05. Then start calculation. Choose outer loadings. We can see that all the p-values are less than 0.05, which means all are significant. So factor loadings criteria are fulfilled. Go back to PLS algorithms and choose construct reliability and validity. The reliability measurements are Cronbach alpha, rho A, and composite reliability, which all of the numbers should be higher than 0.7. We can see here that all of them are green, as well as the value of rho A should be between Cronbach alpha and composite reliability, which means all the indicators are reliable. The next one, let's check convergent validity using average variance extracted or AVE. AVE value is at least 0.5 and we can see that all the AVE values are fulfilled for all indicators. The last one is discriminant validity. Click discriminant validity. I use the HTMT or heterotrait monotrait ratio method. HTMT should be less than 0.9 and we can see here that all values are less than 0.9, which means the discriminant validity criteria is fulfilled. The first step is to open collinearity statistics and check inner VIF values. In this case, all the VIF values are less than 5, therefore there are no multi-collinearity issues. Next, I'll analyze the direct and indirect effects. Go back to bootstrapping, choose path coefficient. We can see the p-value of the relationship between C and Fm is 0.004, indicating significant positive, while the p-values of the relationship between C and VRT, VRT and Fm, as well as N and Fm is red because they are more than 0.05, indicating not significant. Last one, the p-value of relationship between N to FRT is 0.000, indicating significant positive. So the direct effect of N on Fm is not significant, while the direct effect of C on Fm is significant and positive. Next, let's check the indirect effect. So N to FRT is significant, however FRT to Fm is not significant, which means the indirect effect must be not significant. Additionally, both C to FRT and FRT to Fm are not significant, which indicates the relationship is not significant. Or we can see directly from SmartPLS. Click specific indirect effect. For C to FRT to Fm as well as for N to FRT to Fm, the indirect effect is red, which means it's not significant, so there is no indirect effect. We can check the R-square in the PLS algorithm. So the R-square of Fm is 0.139, which means that 13.9% of Fm is explained by N, C, and FRT, while 41.3% of FRT is explained by N and C. Next, click F-square in PLS algorithm. So on Fm, C has a small effect, while FRT and N have no effect. Next, on FRT, C has no effect, while N has a large effect. Next is Q-square. First, go back to the drawing pad, calculate blindfolding. I use 8, which means I want to remove the data every 8 positions. We can change the number between 5 to 12, then start calculation. The result will be provided for each endogenous variable such as Fm and FRT. In this case, the Fm model has small predictive relevance, while the FRT model has medium predictive relevance. So the conclusion is 1. Neuroticism does not affect on financial management. 2. Neuroticism has a positive significant effect on financial risk tolerance. 3. Conscientiousness has a positive significant effect on financial management. 4. Conscientiousness does not affect on financial risk tolerance. And 5. Financial risk tolerance does not affect on financial management. Financial risk tolerance cannot mediate both neuroticism on financial management and conscientiousness on financial management. In this case, for neuroticism, financial risk tolerance, financial management, both direct and indirect effects are not significant, so there is no mediation. While for conscientiousness, financial risk tolerance, financial management, the direct effect is significant, but indirect effect is not significant, so there is no mediation.